Hi, it's Amy from Select Travel Holidays, Home and Cruise Select, and you're joining us here in a slightly cloudy day in Southampton, although thank God it's not raining, and we are on board Oceania Vista, their brand new ship which launched earlier this year. She, as I say, is their newest ship, and she holds up to 1,200 guests. We'll be taking a look at some of the public spaces on board, including some of the restaurants, the bars, lounges, and some of the accommodation. So we'll can't wait to show you some of that.
Oceania are famous for their food. They pride themselves on the finest cuisine at sea, and so we're going to take a look at some of the dining venues on board. We're going to start at the very top on deck 14, where we've got two of the best known Oceania speciality restaurants. At the aft of deck 14, this is where you'll find both the Polo Grill Steakhouse and Toscana's. On the starboard side where we started is where you find the Polo Grill Steakhouse, and they have really, Studio Dado, who did a lot of the design elements of the ship, they really, I think Polo was the brief there, and they really sort of took it on board, and from Persian elements, as that's where Polo originated. So you've got this really beautiful handmade mosaic and other sort of slight subtle Persian elements, but mostly what you'll find is sort of a British and exclusive American sports club vibe, a very sort of relaxed, genteel sort of feel to it. You've got sort of little touches of sort of memorabilia or trophies dotted around the shelves. This really lovely Charleston green colouring, and it's very stylish. So obviously Polo Grill Steakhouse has been a staple on Oceania since I think pretty much all of their fleet, but this is a really sort of a fresh redesign, very contemporary. It was really stunning, and so we went through the steakhouse, and between, as I say, you've got Toscana's on the other side, on the port side, but also between these two you then have Grvet, which is actually it's basically private dining. So you do pay for Grvet, but for the most part speciality restaurants are all included, unless you were to go for one of the sort of the wine pairing. They have like a Dom Perignon experience and a Moët Chandon champagne experience. Of course, those sort of elevated things you do have to pay a supplement for, but otherwise the likes of Polo Grill Steakhouse, Toscana's, you can enjoy free of charge and enjoy the fabulous different cuisine. So, as I say, starboard was Polo Grill Steakhouse, and on the port side you've got Toscana's, another Oceania staple, which is obviously Mediterranean, Italian, and what I really enjoyed about Toscana's, I really enjoyed the little pop of that sort of Tuscan sunshine yellow. I really enjoyed that. There's also the Culinary Center. Of course, Oceania are famous and they're very passionate about cuisine, as I say, the finest cuisine at sea. And they were the first to have an onboard sort of culinary cooking school. And of course this fine tradition has continued with Vista. Now the cooking classes are something that are chargeable. They cost about $89 per person, but you've got intimate small groups of no more than about 20, I believe. So you'll get to learn all sorts of culinary secrets that are reflective of the destinations in which you're cruising, which is I think a really memorable and enriching way to sort of experience the destinations you're visiting. Oceania, as I say, they really pride themselves, or culinary experiences are really important to them, and this also includes shoreside as well. So on select ports they'll have culinary discovery tours where you could, for example, join the chef, get some ingredients in the local market, and then go back on board and cook. So obviously that's like an enhanced example, I guess, of what you can do in the Culinary Centre. And adjacent to the main Culinary Centre there was I think a room in which I believe they also offer mixology classes. But what is also new, as I say, this new room next door is actually it's a new dining Culinary Centre dining room, which offers an elevated experience. So it's a very intimate dinner where you get to try more of the dishes cooked by the chefs from this Culinary Centre. So that's something that's new to Vista. So then we went across the deck 14, overlooking the pool deck area, and we headed towards midship, and on the port side that's where we found the library, and it was right next door to Barista's, which is obviously a very popular coffee place where we had some delicious coffee. And now there's a new bakery which is adjacent to Barista's, and that was a really popular hub. There's all sorts of like delicious looking pastry dishes which get changed twice a day. So like I say, the bakery is a new venue on board Vista. We're going to go down to deck 12 where we'll find the Terrace Bar, and that's an informal dining venue throughout the day, whether it's breakfast, lunch and dinner. There is some alfresco seating as well as the very sort of plushly adorned dining area inside. And of course also there's the poolside Waves Bar and Grill, which is a nice shaded but alfresco area. That actually sort of transforms quite a bit throughout the day. So it starts as the only raw pressed natural juices and smoothies bar at sea. So you can start really healthily with your raw juices, your smoothies and energy bowls to energize you, to get kickstart the day in the right sort of way. And at lunchtime it then transforms into basically you've got your made to order American classics, so your sandwiches, your burgers, your shakes. And at night, it's another transformation. It now becomes an authentic Neapolitan trattoria, complete with a pizza oven in the centre. So the Waves Bar and Grill sees lots of different things throughout the day, but offers plenty of delicious food and a lovely sort of shaded poolside setting. Also on deck 12 you'll find the Aquamar Kitchen, which is one of the 4 brand new dining concepts on board Vista. It's open for breakfast and lunch, and it really focuses on wellness, and so you'll also be able to find your natural juice smoothie things for breakfast here, as well as granola bowls and really kind of like healthy alternative flexitarian sort of diety stuff. So it was actually a really beautiful setting. It's designed to have that sort of coastal chic airiness to sort of make you think of being on like a Greek island, because obviously the Mediterranean diet is very healthy. So obviously they took some inspiration from that and used it to reflect here. Personally, I really love the big, large sort of bench table. That was also gorgeous. So again, that's a new venue on board Vista. Now we're going to head to deck 5, and we're going to scoot past the boutiques where we're going to find Red Ginger, a classic Oceania speciality restaurant which features Asian cuisine of all different types, Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, etc. They've obviously taken some design inspirations from traditional elements, but also mixed it up with more contemporary feel. I really enjoyed the sort of the printed screens and the lights that were meant to sort of be inspired by Vietnamese hanging lanterns, and the little cabinet with the pottery by the entrance. I thought they were nice little touches. And then we've also got a brand new restaurant for Vista, Ember. So Ember is American classics with a modern twist. So you think of lobster mac and cheese, you've got grilled beef tenderloin, herb crusted chicken, and a special Ember cheeseburger. Gosh, I should probably stop now before I get myself too hungry. And so what the Studio Dado team have done with this is they have drawn inspiration from American craftsmanship, so you'll find both rustic and industrial elements here. What I particularly liked was the sort of the barrel-shaped brick vaulted ceiling. I thought that was a really nice touch, and there's sort of a central fireplace which I guess is reminiscent of the restaurant's name. So that's a brand new venue on board Vista. And last but by no means least, we have the grand dining room on deck 6. This is obviously the main dining room, as the name sort of suggests, slightly elevated of course, and it's truly a beautiful venue. Its design was actually inspired by the world's finest conservatories, so there's like subtle little garden motifs like the hydrangea inspired chandeliers, but I just really loved how crisp and bright and airy it was. Just had quite an uplifting sort of feel to it actually. And of course we had an absolutely fabulous lunch on board, but that was just obviously a little taster of what would be available. The grand dining room is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, all a la carte, and yes, I really enjoyed that venue, and it was nice to actually get to experience some of the food available.